This is John Bailey, the epic voice of Honest Trailers, and you're listening to the Fiveish Fangirls podcast. It's a Fangirls podcast with five-ish people. The tangents and squee will continue. Squee.
The tangents this week continue all the way to episode 510 of the Fiveish Fangirls podcast. So, okay, right now, for example, the Haitians need to come to America, but some people are all, what about the strain on our resources? Then it's like when I had this garden party for my father's birthday, right? I said RSVP because it was a sit-down dinner, but people came that did not RSVP. So I was totally bugging. I had to haul ass to the kitchen, redistribute food, squish in extra place settings, but by the end of the day, it was the more the merrier. So if the government could just get into the kitchen, rearrange some things, we could certainly party with the Haitians. And in conclusion, may I please remind you that it does not say RSVP on the Statue of Liberty. Thank you very much. Welcome everyone to this week's episode of the Fiveish Fangirls podcast. So glad you could join us. Let's start off like every week with the virtual table and see who's joined us this week.
This is Brittany Bangle.
This is Holly from Wisconsin.
And this is Rachel in Indianapolis, Indiana, not the Valley. It's bad enough I have had to go to Castleton multiple times recently, which is, for those in Indy, you know. Traffic. Yeah, if you know, traffic, bad.
Oh my! Do not recommend.
Yeah. If it wasn't for the fact that I really, really just like my doctor, I would find a different physician closer to where I live. But I really like her, so especially right now.
Yeah. You make the effort. It's worth the headaches as much as you complain. Especially in the medical field, when you find a good doctor, you keep them until the bitter end.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. When you find somebody who actually listens to you and is willing to answer your questions, and no matter how trivial they may seem, you hold on to them for dear life. So that's partially why we did not have a show last week, as I started out with a really bad headache and it snowballed from there, and I'm not going to get into it just because it did involve a trip to the emergency room. I will say that much. I am okay technically. The what they were looking for, they did not find. They were concerned about one thing and it turned out to not be that. So,
that's very, very good.
As far as the really scary stuff, I'm okay. But we're in the, we know it's not that phase. Let's figure out what the hell it is phase.
Mm-hmm. And you're kind of wishing that Dr. House was actually real.
I do kind of. I have said more than once. I kind of feel like I should be on an episode of House. Not just because House was played by Hugh Laurie and the man is gorgeous. Yeah. So, but so hopefully there won't be any more unexpected trips to the emergency room for anybody, not just me. So
good vibes, virtual invisible bubble wrap for all of us, please and thank you.
A little bit. That's kind of what it feels like at the moment. So that being said,
it's the allergy season, and
I wish it was just allergies, to be perfectly honest with you. That should be the worst complaint I have at the moment. Unfortunately, that is not the case. But if you didn't see the post on Instagram, while we did not have a new episode last week, we do have a new video up on our YouTube channel with my recap of Gen Con and trying to explain how I crammed a whole bunch of stuff in essentially 2 days, really a day and a half. So, and showing off some of the goodies I picked up in the process. Yes, and show off some of the goodies I got in the process. So, there is that for folks to watch. So, I'm slowly but surely, I had to do some serious data transferring to some external drives and do some deleting off of my poor hard drive on this laptop, because it was like, you have like your pinky fingernail width amount of drive space left, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh no.
Like, I should probably delete some things. So
kind of like
problem is most of it is because I dump everything from my phone onto my laptop.
Gotcha.
And it really should just, I should just dump it to an external drive immediately instead of to the computer first. So, because a lot of that stuff, like all my pictures and stuff, almost always end up on Facebook. And the video and stuff, I can edit and put together stuff to go either on my channel or the podcast channel, depending on what it is, from the external drive. And then I have a backup of that external drive. So I was like, I don't necessarily, especially now that I got a new phone that shoots in, like, I don't record in 4K video, but I could if I wanted to.
Ooh,
which would take up a heck of a lot of hard drive space. But that's a first world problem. At the end of the day, is, oh no, my fancy phone shoots too high quality video. I'm running out of space on my laptop.
Am I going to do?
Yeah, really. Oh my. However will I survive? But yeah, whatever. So yeah, that's what's been happening, kind of, sort of, not really. Yes, but I'm not going to get into the details, just because it's not necessary. The people that need to know what's going on. So
exactly.
From Hollywood classics to wait, that one? We're watching every Best Picture winner. Join us for laughs, debates, and plenty of award season hot takes. Gold Standard, the Oscars podcast. Listen now.
So we need to do news. Thankfully, there's not really a whole lot that piled up while we were MIA. So although the Emmy Awards were yesterday,
and it was kind of cool, on Saturday they aired the Tech Awards on an actual channel where I could actually watch instead of stream, so it was kind of nice.
Like, we do kind of want to see these things occasionally. Various academies and organizations that plan these things. So, especially considering a lot of the stuff that, at least us, that we watch, ends up winning in the technical categories anyway. So
exactly. So it was actually kind of nice to, ooh, yay.
It's like, oh, that's that thing I like and I know.
Yes.
Not just that thing I know just because it's part of the cultural zeitgeist and everybody's talking about it. So yeah, Emmy Awards, of course, with the Emmys, that is television. But that's okay, because we do watch some TV occasionally. This was kind of exciting. Noah Wiley finally won his first Emmy after doing all the seasons of ER.
Yep.
Dang.
How many seasons of The Librarians and Fallen Skies?
Yeah, well, I was like, I don't know how much the people that vote for the Emmys were paying attention to The Librarians, but
I mean, the man has racked up quite the resume and how X number of TV shows that have been critically acclaimed.
Yeah, so ironically enough, he won for another medical show. So he won for his the show he is currently on called The Pit.
I've heard good things about that. I haven't seen it yet, but
I have too. Yeah, I've heard it's actually like quite realistic. Like a lot of stuff they tend to get. It's actually like medically accurate. I mean, obviously, some stuff is pumped up for drama because it's television, but it's not all the time 100% accurate. But compared to some other medical TV shows, apparently it's quite accurate as far as science and medicine is concerned. So that's kind of cool. So yay, good for you, Noah. And then I love that Stephen Colbert won for Talk Series.
yes.
He's like, you're gonna cancel me? Okay. Well, here I'm gonna win some stuff first.
hold this my beer, please.
Yep. Yep. So like a lot of stuff that won, it's like, yeah, I know what that is. I just don't watch it.
Or it's on my to be watch list, but it's going to be a while.
Yeah, it's not a priority necessarily. Yeah. So like John Oliver, his show won for writing for a variety series because his is not. It's only one day a week. The SNL 50th anniversary special won for live variety special. So, which that was pretty cool. There was one that I did want to mention. Oh, writing for a drama series went to Dan Gilroy for Andor.
Yay! Nice.
Which I think that is quite appropriate because this last season of Andor, like, it was just, it was written really well. Really well. I was looking through the list, and there's shots of people accepting, pictures of the people standing there accepting their awards, and I saw Al coming, and I'm like, what did he win for? The Traitors.
He won. I think he won 2 awards for that, host and something else, I think.
Yeah. So, which I have not watched either the UK or the US version, but from what one of my coworkers watches the UK version and she loves it. So but it's a reality competition program. It's usually celebrities, not your super high like A-list celebrities, but celebrities. And they put them all in a house essentially, and it's kind of like a murder mystery except without the murder bit, but there's the one person who's like the traitor out of all of them and will do things like sabotage and pit people against each other, and if somebody can make it to the end, I forget exactly how you win, either by figuring out who the traitor is, or the traitor can win if they're the last person standing. So from what I understand, it's quite fun. So again, it's one of those things, it's like, it's on the list, I'll get around to watching it eventually. So yeah, so that is the Emmy Awards. So I guess if you're a fan of The Pit, The Studio, or Adolescence, or Severance,
they clean house. Holy cow.
Then you had a good night.
I was kind of scrolling through during my lunch break. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. So there is that. And then a couple of trailers I think we should mention is this comes out October 10th. It'll be on Prime Video. But there's a documentary about John Candy.
I
John
watched it.
Candy, I like me. So,
Yeah,
directed by Colin Hanks
and
produced by Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, I almost started tearing up with some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
my God.
especially the people that you've got people that knew John
and his family
and worked alongside him. You know, you've got Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd. You know, that
Macaulay
knew him.
Culkin.
Yeah, you got Macaulay Culkin, and you've got people that maybe never necessarily worked alongside him, but knew him, or crossed paths with him, like Conan O'Brien. People that were just fans but never actually knew him, like Ryan Reynolds. Apparently, he's a huge John Candy fan, fellow Canadian, I'm sure. Has something to do with it. But yeah, I'm sure it will be a tearjerker in some spots at least, but I'm sure some of it will actually be quite funny as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just like, ugh, okay, gonna get me right here. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to watching it when it comes out. That is a most definite for sure.
Yeah. I mean, obviously for me, Spaceballs, one of my favorite movies of all time. And yeah.
And one of the
He's
clips,
Barf. Yeah.
Hey, I'm Barf. I'm a Morg.
I'm a Mog. I'm my own best friend. Yeah. Yeah, and then Home Alone, especially the first one, is a regular watch in the holiday season, even though he doesn't necessarily have a big part in Home Alone, but it's very memorable. We got Catherine O'Hara; she makes an appearance in the documentary. So, considering pretty much all of John's scenes, she's in. So
and they do show Summer Rental, and those of you who have not seen it, it is a fantastic summer movie. That's worth checking out.
Yeah. So but yeah, that'll be on Prime on October 10th, and then hopefully available elsewhere at some point after that. So a lot of the Prime stuff does eventually end up like on DVD or the like, if you're not a Prime member. So Chauncey's looking forward to it because he's also a huge John Candy fan. So and then the other is our first proper look at the latest entry in the Knives Out universe, Wake Up Dead Man. With again, a stacked cast. Of course, we have some very recognizable faces, as they do with the Knives Out movies. We've got Jeremy Renner, we've got Glenn Close. It's quite the cast.
It's like, who haven't we asked yet that said that they've wanted to be on?
That's kind of, I mean, at the rate they're going, I mean, they're just gonna have to start like plucking people from like the MCU and be like, who haven't we used yet in Knives Out?
There's nothing wrong with it, but it's just like,
I mean,
who are you gonna get next?
You've got Josh Brolin, Thanos. You got Jeremy Renner,
Hawkeye.
So Glenn Close, Nova Prime.
Yep. That's right. I completely forgot about that. Yeah.
So it's like, all right, Kerry Washington and Andrew Scott, go see the mouse. They get a contract for you. And Daniel Craig.
Yeah. Or they better
although Daniel Craig is a secret stormtrooper in one of the newer Star Wars movies. So technically he's already given himself to the House of Mouse. You just didn't get to see his face, but he's in there. But that is funny. So, and see, actually, technically, because of Spider-Man No Way Home, Thomas Hayden Church is already part of it 'cause he's Sandman.
Oh, that's
Spider-Man.
right.
So, so there. But yeah, I'm excited for this. I love these movies. So Daniel Craig is he is hilarious as Benoit Blanc. So I like how the younger guy. I don't think I know him from anything that plays like the younger like priest. He's all like he's like me and frickin' because he's supposed to be a priest, so he's like frickin' Benoit Blanc are gonna figure out who did this and why, and so he's like, but I'm a priest, so I can't say the other F words. So it's like frickin' Benoit Blanc. All right, so there is that, and then we do have a new episode of Gold Standard in the feeds. Where unfortunately I did not get to be part of it because I was recovering from my trip to the emergency room and I just felt like absolute crap. And I had the most awful headache that was bordering on migraine. Which which really sucks to begin with. But you know, I would not that it's the movie I was not necessarily excited about. It's got Mark Wahlberg in it and it's called Rockstar.
Yeah.
But I was I was going to the plan was to get home from work and watch watch the movie so that it would be fresh in my brain for the next day, and obviously that did not happen. But I was more upset because I was missing out on recording with Maureen Van Zant again.
Oh.
So because we had Maureen on when we talked about the most recent Best Picture winner, Honora, and I was stuck at work. So, and I couldn't get away. I ended up sending in feedback though. But here Maureen comes again, and it's like, tell Maureen it's not personal that I keep not showing up when she's on the show.
Yeah. Don't send her hubby after me.
Or his boss, who happens to be the boss.
Boss, yes. Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. So, but no. Nick said that Maureen was absolutely understood. But sometimes these things just happen.
Yeah. Well, hopefully his third time will be the charm.
Yeah. Or at least the next time will be the charm, because Maureen's like, I'll come back as many times as you want. I'm like, oh, that's good to hear. So
yes.
I like the sound of that.
Yes.
Looking for a great sci-fi read? Support indie authors like J.M. Angewerden, whose books bring action, adventure, and rich storytelling to life. Check them out now on Amazon.
Alrighty then. So let's do feedback. It's a feedback from Shalane. Yay! She says, starting with D23 Destinations, don't skip this one. The upcoming movie Hex isn't being done by Pixar. It's actually from Walt Disney Animation Studios. Aha. So it's important to pay attention to which films are coming from Disney Animation versus Pixar. If it says Disney, that means it's a Walt Disney Animation Studios. If it says Disney/Pixar, that's Pixar. My problem is I tend to go, I don't pay attention to that bit. I tend to go by what it looks like. And if it looks like a Pixar movie to me, then I just assume it's Pixar. So.
Yeah. Same. Yeah. Well, just like kind of with the DreamWorks and the other
Illumination.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was kind of, I have to do a double take because sometimes I get those confused. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's not Illumination, it's DreamWorks. Oh, it's not DreamWorks, it's Illumination.
Yep. So yeah, pay better attention to logos, I guess. Fun fact, there was going to be a Disney Princess movie scheduled for release last year, but after the box office flops of Strange World of Wish, Disney shelved that project and moved forward Moana 2 instead, which Moana 2 did pretty well, so I guess that was a safe move on their part.
Yep.
Going back to Jack Kirby, he also co-created the X-Men along with Stan Lee. I also have a theory about that the 2000s era X-Men actors who appeared in Doomsday could end up wearing the original comic and animated series costumes since Wolverine wore his classic outfit in Deadpool and Wolverine. Possibly. I've decided to rewatch the 1992 X-Men animated series, followed by the X-Men movies from the 2000s to 2010s, since so many of those characters will be in Doomsday next year. I'm skipping X-Men Origins, Wolverine, Dark Phoenix, and the New Mutants. Probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Part of the reason I'm slowly getting into the X-Men franchise along with James Cameron's Avatar is because of the stage makeup class I took at college. For my final project, I recreated the blue Avatar look, and I loved how it turned out. For a while, I put Avatar and X-Men aside so I could focus more on joining the MCU, Harry Potter, and Star Wars. But now I've made a list of all my favorite movie blockbusters and franchises together. I've also learned that I don't need to like every single one of them to still connect with friends who do. I was going to share this with you girls eventually, when you girls eventually do an X-Men episode, but I'll tell it now. Yeah, so we're gonna have to do something with the X-Men before Doomsday.
Yeah.
Just because they're gonna be like right there. So
yep.
We've been kind of tiptoeing around it, with Deadpool and Wolverine and the post-credit scene with the Marvels and all that. But now it's kind of like, no, the X-Men, they're here. So
yeah, we kind of we can't ignore the how should I put it, the mutant in the room.
Yeah, the giant hairy blue scientist in the room.
Yeah,
among others.
Yep. The one with the cage and one with the Cajun accent that likes flinging cards.
The one with the white hair that can control lightning.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yep. Let's see. As I've said before, I only watched James Cameron's Avatar with my college friend. Another reason I'm revisiting X-Men film starting with the 2000 movies, prepare in case you girls cover them on the podcast, especially now that they're coming to the MCU. Exactly. A group of my friends and I are also planning to cosplay X-Men characters. Maybe the X-Men will even show up at Avengers Campus at Disney California Adventure. That'd be awesome. We've talked about doing the Marvels or even classic Avenger characters too. I've already called dibs on Mystique or Rogue, and maybe Captain Marvel or Scarlet Witch. I mean, Rogue is fun. Mystique, not easy to do.
Yeah.
But
no.
If done right, can be very impressive. And I've seen some of Shalane's stuff that she did while she was in college. She's quite talented when it comes to the special effects makeup. So,
yes.
I think I've realized I need to find more guilty pleasures, and both Avatar and X-Men fall into that category for me. I've also been getting more into sci-fi and fantasy films lately, but really most of them fall under action adventure anyway. I don't know if you necessarily go out looking for guilty pleasures. They more find you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They kind of sneak up on you. I'm like, oh, hey, here I am.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's definitely the way it has been for me. With the things that I consider a guilty pleasure. So it's usually somebody, you just introduce it to me like, hey, you like this thing, maybe you'll like it. I'm like, yep, thank you very much. Hyperfixation.
Yep. Okay, I like this actor. Let me do a deep dive. Yep. Let me go down this rabbit hole. Let me go down that rabbit hole.
Yep.
Speaking of blockbusters, I remember another one coming this Christmas, a remake of Anaconda starring Jack Black and Paul Rudd. No trailer yet. It's supposed to be released around Christmas, kind of like how Avatar and Star Wars movies have come out during the holidays. Why do we need a remake of Anaconda? We don't need a remake of Anaconda.
No, we don't.
Nope.
I mean, as far as like,
Paul Rudd and Jack Black in the same film together, now that's gonna be fun and interesting.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I would have maybe School of Rock 2.0 with an Ant-Man twist.
I may.
Hey, let me have the drums.
Yeah.
Let Anthony join the band, please. Oh, dude, that's a real ant.
Yeah. Possibly.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Yeah. She says, another big news, you girls missed the engagement announcement of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. We didn't miss it. We just didn't mention it.
Yeah.
Trust me, you would have to be dead to not know that Taylor and Travis are engaged.
Yep.
It's being called the biggest engagement announcement since the last royal wedding, and their wedding could be one of the biggest events since then, too. Of course, it'll be a while before we hear about an official wedding date. I believe Selena Gomez will probably be Taylor's maid of honor. And who knows who Travis will choose as his best man? Probably his brother.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure we'll hear a lot of Taylor's love songs at the wedding, and on top of that, she has a new album coming out next month. Hell yeah, she does.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, speaking of Lord of the Rings, I'll be patient for you to cover Fellowship of the Ring and the Two Towers on Gold Standard. Believe me, I have mentioned that to Nick multiple times. Yes, we need to talk about Fellowship and how it all starts, but then we definitely need to do Two Towers so I can continue to gush over the Battle of Helm's Deep.
As one should.
I must talk about the Battle of Helm's Deep and how amazing it is.
And you have to complete everything. If you've done one, you got to do the others.
That is true. Very true. Yeah, that'd be like doing, Return of the Jedi and not New Hope and Empire.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like we may have skipped over one Indiana Jones trilogy movie, but that's because that one doesn't really fit into the rest of.
Yeah.
Like we care about Indy and Miriam and an Indian's dad.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, Shalane.
Yes.
For your feedback. As always.
So, okay. Like right now, for example, the Haitians need to come to America. But some people are all, what about the strain on our resources? And it's like, when I had this garden party for my father's birthday, right? People came that, did not RSVP. So I was, totally bugging. I had to haul ass to the kitchen, squish in extra place settings, and, people were on mismatched chairs and all. But by the end of the day, it was the more the merrier. And so, if the government could just get to the kitchen, rearrange some things, we could certainly party with the Haitians.
Wow.
You guys talk like grown-ups. Oh, well, this is a really good school.
Mr. Hall was way harsh. He gave me a C-.
Well, he gave me a C, which drags down my entire average.
Hello? There was a stop sign?
I totally paused. We tried driving in platforms.
Oh, should I write them a note?
Ew! Get off of me!
As if. Cher's got attitude about high school boys.
It's a personal choice every woman has got to make for themselves.
Cher's saving herself for Luke Perry.
Cher, you're a virgin? I mean, I'm not prude. I'm just highly selective. I mean, you see how picky I am about my shoes, and they only go on my feet.
Nice stems.
Thanks.
What the hell is that?
A dress.
Says who?
Calvin Klein.
What are you doing?
Yo, you getting on the freeway! Get on this freeway!
You go, girl.
You okay?
I'm fine. Okay. Whatever. Did I miss something? Is Big Hair back?
Amber, my plastic surgeon doesn't want me doing any activity where balls fly at my nose.
Well, there goes your social life.
I'm gonna be a supermodel.
All right. Moving on to this week's main topic. We are going to dive into, technically, another Austen adaptation. Although this one is much more loose. This is in the same vein as 10 Things I Hate About You being an adaptation of Shakespeare, you know?
Yep.
So although if it wasn't for, it's the same time period too. So we probably would not have one without the other. The 90s would not be containing these movies if they weren't done so well with taking the source material and then effectively, modernizing it, but also aging it, so teenagers, high schoolers. So, I mean, Amy Heckerling, who wrote and directed Clueless, they came to her saying, we want something, for teenagers, in, that kind of, because the high school kind of comedy rom-com-ish film was becoming quite popular. And so, the studio or whoever came to her and they're like, we want to jump on this bandwagon. Can you do something? And she's like, only if I can make fun of the high school. Because they were talking about, high schoolers in like California, the very, stereotypical type of 90s teenagers, all played by 20 somethings, obviously, that all dress and act like they've got way more money than their characters probably should, except for Cher.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Considering
the job that Cher's dad had.
But she realized that she remembered in herself in high school reading Emma and being like, that might not be a bad basis for this script that she's writing. And obviously compared to some other Austen stuff, this is not Pride and Prejudice. This is not Sense and Sensibility. Although at the same time, there was a more faithful adaptation starring Gwyneth Paltrow. They came out around the same time period. Obviously, if our listeners have been listening any amount of time, that I don't read Austen. I have never read Austen. I probably never will read Austen. It's just not my thing. So that being said, I don't really know a whole lot about the book, Emma. I know it's the last novel of hers that got published before she died. I also know that she described it as, I'm going to take a heroine whom no one but myself will much like. And what I know about the character of Emma is she considers herself a bit of a matchmaker. She comes from wealth. Unlike other Austen heroines who have to marry for money, Emma's not in that situation. She's got cash. Her father has done very well for himself. There's no risk of them becoming poor anytime soon.
Her sister is up. She's got an older sister. Her sister's got up and gotten married. And now everybody's looking at Emma like, it's your turn, girly. And she's like, no way. I don't want to.
Next.
Yeah. So instead, she takes this girl named Harriet, who she takes under her wing to kind of mold her into what Regency era would expect. She's like, I don't want to get married and do all the high society stuff. But hey, Harriet, you poor orphan girl who has no one to care for you, let me come and mold you into what society would expect, and then you can get married off, and then I don't have
you can
to
take my place. You can be my second.
Yes, exactly. And of course, very much like in Austen, there's some there's people falling for each other, but think that the other person they think the person they're in love with is actually in love with someone else, and there's people that are secretly engaged. And then there's people that think that somebody's in love with somebody, but really they're in love with someone else.
You need a scorecard to keep it. We check it out.
Kind of like you thought Sense and Sensibility was bad. This is kind of maybe slightly more convoluted, actually.
I mean, we're getting up there with the baby swapping and Good Omens.
Little bit. I mean, very much like with this, unlike in Sense and Sensibility, where it's 3 guys, 2 girls, with Emma, it's actually 3 girls, 3 guys. So it's slightly more even. And of course, at the end, every guy ends up with a girl, the one that they actually want, and vice versa. But it takes a lot of, craziness. As crazy and scandalous as you can get for the Regency era.
Right.
For everyone to end up with the person that they want to end up with, including Emma. She does eventually like, okay, maybe this marriage thing isn't that bad. But Emma she is considered very spoiled, very vain, very concerned about her station compared to other people, and how people are supposed to maneuver in society and act based on where you fit in the hierarchy. But at the end, she turns out to be a halfway decent person, which is very much what happens with Cher in this. She starts out your very stereotypical, seemingly dumb blonde who only cares about clothing and shopping and looking pretty and very vain things. She does not speak. She speaks very much that kind of Valley girl vernacular, which is funny considering that she hates the Valley. Mm-hmm. Doesn't want to go to the Valley for that party. But she talks but like a Valley girl. So but she's got her BFF Dion, and they take as a team, they take under their wing this new girl, Ty, and there's a whole bunch of people thinking that Cher goes out. Dion's got her ride or die. There's no question there about her and Murray. That as much as they bicker and bitch, and nobody's looking,
about ready to kill him,
right? But when nobody's looking, they are very sweet with each other.
Yes.
Yep.
They put on a bit of a show, just for entertainment, I guess,
or to keep the rep.
Yes,
that they've got.
Keep the rep.
Of the rest of their other friend group besides.
maybe
the others, small central.
Yeah. But then you've got, Brittany Murphy as the new girl Ty. Which Brittany Murphy, it's a shame that we lost her.
Yeah.
So young.
Yeah.
But she had so much potential. And she shows it off in this. Going from being the very, she's a new kid in school, she's got to figure out where she fits in. And she gets taken under her wing by essentially two girls that are supposed, very popular. Slowly turn Ty kind of into one of them, but not in a Mean Girls kind of way.
No.
But unfortunately, Ty, she comes out of her shell to the point where she almost gets a bit too big for her britches.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you start throwing romance into it. Yeah. Because the thing is like, Ty is being told, these are the, stay away from like these groups of people. And we see early on, they point, Cher and Dion are pointing out like the different groups, like the skateboarders and the nerds. It's very, very much like Mean Girls, where, they point out the different cliques. As far as Cher and Dion are concerned, if Ty wants to look for a boyfriend, there's certain groups that she should avoid and certain ones that she should look towards. And in the process, because Ty thinks that she has to follow these quote unquote rules, she can't really go after the person she really wants to. And it's not until they have this big blow up towards the end and then make up that, they realize that, Ty can be more herself. And if she wants to date a guy that skateboards, that's fine. So they all kind of get over themselves as far as feeling like they have to fit into these boxes that, unfortunately, I work in a high school. That is still a thing. These kids, I say kids, they're high schoolers, they're teenagers, it's hormones everywhere. I was telling Chauncey the other day, I was like, I'm not a teacher, I work in the front office. But actually, I see a lot of students. We have students that work in the office with us, helping to like do things like deliver packages when they come in and mail and other sorts of things. Plus that's where all the students come through that come in, like are getting dropped off or they need to leave for an appointment or whatever. They all have to come through by me. And watching teenagers attempt to flirt, it's like a really bad nature documentary. I feel like I need Richard Attenborough's voice, like whispering in my ear. Watch as the shy and nervous 15-year-old freshman boy approaches the sophomore girl who's in his math class.
or the Richard or the Nathan Fillion Richard Castle gif when somebody says something and you're like, oh wait a minute, and then you put the hand on the side of the face like, no, that's not gonna end well. Tears, I tell you, tears.
I mean, the girls don't really have much game either, but the boys are especially cringy. I mean, I can't say that's the case all around the world. But in my little part of
the neck of the woods,
my little neck of woods with these particular species, boys much more awkward than the girls. So, but this whole idea that you have to check off boxes or fit a certain stereotype or whatever, still very prevalent in high school even now. This movie is 30 years old, so. That's why we're talking about it.
The more they stay the same.
Exactly. But so yeah, you've got Cher, who's the stand-in for Emma. You've got Ty, who's the stand-in for Harriet. There is an Elton. They try to set Ty up with Elton, very much in Emma. They try to set Harriet, someone, I can't remember if it's Harriet or someone else, that there's a guy named Elton that is involved in the who is this person going to end up with. It's not a triangle because there's 6 people involved. I don't know what you call that.
A hexagon? Not a head.
No, hex something.
Hex something, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
Yes, it's a mess. You have Christian, who Cher is trying to pursue, not realizing that he's gay, which there's nothing wrong with that. But she's in this case very clueless. She has no gaydar to speak about. Which Christian is a stand-in for, I can't remember the guy's name in the book. Like I said, I've never read it. I just got some like cliff notes off the internet. So, but there's a guy in the book who's actually secretly engaged and has been for a while, and that's why he doesn't seem to pursue I believe Emma, even though Emma's kind of got the hot, thinks he's kind of cute, but turns out he's not really interested because he's already engaged to someone else that he actually genuinely cares for. In this case, she's backing out a guy who doesn't bat for the same team, which I will say, unfortunately, I can relate. Yeah. Oh, yeah. My gaydar's gotten better since then, but in high school, nope. No idea. And then you have, of course, you have Josh, played by Paul Rudd, who is not aged in 30 years. Looks the same. His hairstyle has changed. That's about it.
Yeah.
That's about the only thing that's changed in 30 years for Paul Rudd.
Yeah. Rachel, I totally agree with you on that. It's just like, yep.
Who? Josh is Cher's ex-stepbrother. So they're not blood related. They're not even legally related anymore because her dad is no longer married to Josh's mom. But for some reason, Josh still comes to hang out at the Horowitz house, probably because they have a pool. And he's in college, and I'm guessing his college does not have a pool, at least not a private pool, among other things. He just shows up. He's like, I don't know, pick a TV show from like the 90s where somebody had like a neighbor who just came over all the time and like ate all her food.
Kind of like Steve Urkel.
Yeah, Steve Urkel, or
Kimmy Gibbler.
Or what's his face? Clarissa's best friend that always came through her window.
Yeah.
Like, he just come over and hang out. So, but it's like, yeah. So when like Cher realizes that she's in love with Josh, people are like, he's not her brother. Yes, she's in high school and doesn't even have a driver's license, and he's in college. The age difference is the gross part, not the part that they used to be step siblings. But it takes Cher a while to get there, because between trying to make over Ty, she's also playing matchmaker, very much like what Emma does, for 2 of her teachers. So you have Wallace Shawn as Mr. Hall, and she and then Twink Kaplan as Miss Toby Geist.
and she does all this sort of thing, like playing matchmaker, sending them notes, thinking it's written by the other person, and all sorts of things, and it works.
Yes.
I mean, they do end up getting married by the end, so which is very cute.
Well, I think too she could kind of see it's just that they needed the nudge.
Yes. So, but yeah, Cher's like, she's just one of those girls that's like, she's not very strong academically, but she's got a pretty good social life. She is kind of shallow, but her heart's in the right place.
Yes.
Is the thing. Is like,
and she means well with what she's trying to do.
Right. And she's not like, even things where she tries to negotiate to get better grades. It's not that she's trying to be manipulative. It's more, I mean, when she explains it to her dad, is, she's like, well, you always tell me to negotiate. And I just think these grades are starting off right. That's the thing, is like, when we see Cher in class, like the quote I use at the beginning of the episode is in her speech and debate class, which is what Sean's character teaches. And while her words may not sound like Shakespeare, but the point she's making is very sincere.
Yes.
And it's a good, I think it's a good metaphor in a way that she's trying to use because the idea is, should refugees be welcome to the United States? And Cher's got the pro side of the argument. And her idea is, her argument is, people who need to come here to make a better life should be able to. We've got plenty to go around if we just get off our asses, essentially, and move some things around.
Right.
Instead of being all like, no, it's mine. It's not finite.
Right.
Yeah. There's so many things where people are like, oh, if we give something, if we give this, that it's taking away. It's like, it's not pie. It's not a pizza. There's not a finite amount. If I give you a slice of pizza, that doesn't mean there's one less slice of pizza for me.
Right.
There's still plenty of pizza to go around.
Yep.
Maybe I don't even like that type of pizza. Maybe you want the pizza that's got sausage on it. I don't like sausage. Great. That means more sausage pizza for you. Meanwhile, I will take my pizza with the pineapple on it. Some people think that that's disgusting. Right. I don't care. I like it.
And I will take the slices with the mushrooms, because I know people don't like mushrooms, but I like mushrooms on my pizza too.
Exactly. Exactly. So it may not be an award-winning speech,
right?
But she totally nails the assignment.
She's getting her point across, and it might not be in the way that the social studies teacher is expecting, but at least she's making the proper connections. And you got to give her credit for it.
Exactly. In that case, I totally am behind her when wanting to argue for a better grade in that class. Jim, maybe not so much, but although I hated Jim, so say what you will. Maybe I don't have a horse in that race. Yeah, it's just she has some things that happen to her that kind of, because part of the thing is she's in like this very specific bubble, and it's when she starts going out and doing things beyond her usual scope that some unfortunate things happen to her, like getting mugged, which sucks.
Funnily enough, Paul Rudd actually got mugged while filming this and had his backpack stolen, and his script was in the backpack.
Uh-oh.
But so yeah, getting and her attempt at trying to put Ty and Elton together not working, and then Ty seemingly seemingly developing hard eyes for Josh, and Elton trying to put the pass on her even though she's not interested in him, and then finding out that being told that Christian is gay, and well, that she's initially like and a little disappointed. They end up remaining friends, and he ends up becoming quite helpful when it comes to getting opinion on things like outfits. Every girl should have a gay best friend, a male gay best friend, if you're into fashion and things like that. She fails her driver's test, which she cannot negotiate by any means. Not at all. She's like, you know how hard it is to drive in platforms? I probably should not try to do your driving test platform, Cher.
Yeah.
You might want to wear slightly more sensible shoes. Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
As someone who has driven in heels before, yeah.
Not recommended.
Thankfully, it all works out. She starts, she realizes that instead of trying to fix everything else, maybe she should start with herself, and that starts with an internal makeover. So she starts volunteering with the Pismo Beach disaster relief effort.
Mm-hmm. And I love how she comes through all her dads and doing paperwork, and he's like, you don't use this anymore, right?
Yeah. She's got like skis and tennis rackets. She's like, It's like, I don't think. It's like, do people really need that? And she's like, some people lost everything. Don't you think that means sporting equipment? Which, I mean, she's not wrong.
No, it's a valid point.
I mean, you never know. Somebody may have lost all their stuff, and maybe they're like a tennis instructor or something.
Right.
They may need it for their business. Maybe they're a water skiing instructor, or a snow skiing instructor.
Or that was their one happiness, their one activity that they liked doing, and they lost it. So hey, you're returning the favor by restoring that.
Exactly. It's kind of like Cher's speech. It may not be very obvious, but she's making the connections. So
her heart is in the right place.
Exactly. And thankfully, then she and Ty make up, and Ty starts dating the slacker skateboarder, played by Breckenmeyer, and like I said, Mr. Hall and Miss Geist get married. Cher catches the bouquet, and presumably she and Josh will be happily ever after. But again, he's in college and she's in high school. It's a little weird. Amy Heckerling is one of the bridesmaids. You keep an eye out for her. So yeah, it's a very cute movie. I mean, it's not it's definitely one that you could watch over and over again. It's not going to make you anxious or anything. It's got a lot of heart. It's still funny. It's still serious. So you've got that. Of course, the costumes are iconic. Cher's black and yellow plaid tweed outfit with the coat and the matching skirt and her, her knee high and her platforms. Absolutely iconic. You can find, I'm pretty sure I saw that on the shelf when I went to Spirit Halloween recently as a costume option. It might help that this is the 30th anniversary year for it. Crap, what's her face? But the fancy. I'm so fancy.
Oh shoot.
The gal that sings that Weird Al actually did a parody of. But she recreates that and kind of Clueless in the music video for that.
Would it be Iggy Azalea?
Yes. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, even now, if you go into certain stores, you will see clothing that very much could have walked off the set of this movie and some of the other 90s movies we've covered, like 10 Things I Hate About You. And the like that style is back in. Not just the Cher's like plaid, tweed, and all that, but some of the guys like skater outfits, some of the stuff that Ty wears before her makeover, and then towards the end after she de-Chersifies and finds more of her own personal style, which kind of makes me sick to my stomach a little bit, because I'm like, I remember when that stuff was new 30 years ago.
Exactly.
I remember that stuff was in style the first time, and or some of it. Oh my god, makes me feel really old. But I mean, even Alicia Silverstone has, brought the character back. Recently for ads. She's appeared in an ad. I think it was a Super Bowl ad. So a couple years ago,
with her son, I believe, if memory serves.
Yeah, and she's active on social media, and occasionally she will bust out, either an outfit. I don't know if she has the original outfits or not, or if the ones that we see her wearing are reproductions. So I mean, I would not be surprised if she still has it. To be perfectly honest with you, like Reese Witherspoon still has like all of Elle Woods' outfits.
Yeah.
So.
Speaking of Elle Woods, she and Cher need to have a crossover event.
Oh my god, yes.
Or actually,
and that's
maybe
the thing.
Work
It's
at
like
the same law firm.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like Cher, like we had Cher walk so that like Elle Woods could run.
Yes.
They're very much cut of a similar cloth.
Seeing the parallels. Okay, good. It wasn't just me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I totally see the parallels. I mean, and I love Elle Woods.
Yes.
So yeah, we are going to do Legally Blonde at some point, because I need to talk about the movies and the musical.
Because Elle and Cher are almost like two, the same, same coin but different sides almost.
Yeah, they're just a different decade.
Yep.
So
different minting.
Yeah. So but yeah, it's just it's a fantastic movie. I think it's for being 30 years old, I think it's aged pretty well.
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah, I didn't see anything that kind of made me raise my eyebrows and like, ooh, yeah, you can tell that was a sign of the the times in which it was written. Nothing to that.
Yeah, I mean, like Christians' homosexuality is never like really made fun of. I mean, they're definitely, it's one of those movies where you can watch over and over again, and if you aren't necessarily wanting to pay attention to like the main stuff that's happening, they foreshadow that reveal several times that Christian is gay. But then once it's brought to Cher and Dion's attention that it's like, no, he's gay, and they're like, I mean, Cher's a little mad at herself for not realizing it, but she's mad because she didn't realize it, not because he's gay,
right?
Which that would be problematic, you know. And she doesn't have a moment like, well, he just, you know, like, well, I could change that or anything. She's like, okay, well, we could still be friends. He's got good taste in clothing and art, you know.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, there's not really anything. I mean, I could see maybe some people having some issues with the way that Dion and Murray talk to each other sometimes.
Yeah, that might be the only. Yeah, that might be the
like
only
when he calls her woman.
Yeah,
but then she goes off on him, and he immediately is all like, he's like, no, it's, you know, and then he explains like, no, in today's vernacular, you know, when using this term, it means this, you know.
But she gets right on him when he does call her woman.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
yeah. And like I said, I think a lot of their fighting is for show anyway.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
so, but even then, you know, like he says something that could have been problematic, and she brings him to the carpet for it. So again, I don't think that's that bad. So, it's yeah, I think it's aged pretty well, all things considering. So, you know, and from what I understand, the people that have actually bothered to read the Austen novel, Emma, say that they would much rather watch this than read the novel. Like, because as far as the book character Emma is concerned, I can't speak for like the Gwyneth Paltrow version or anything like that, because I don't know. I've never seen it. I probably never will. Funnily enough, here's one of those weird podcasting things. Josh O'Connor, who I was talking about when talking about the new Knives Out movie, that plays the young Reverend who's all like, you know, doesn't curse because he's supposed to be a Reverend. He's in the 2020 version of Emma as Mr. Elton.
Wow.
Take that.
Small world.
Podcasting gods. But so yeah, I can't speak to the either the Gwyneth Paltrow version or any of the other Austen adaptations, because with any of the Austen and or Dickens and or Shakespeare, there's 5 million adaptations. Just close your eyes, pick one, you're gonna find at least double digits as far as adaptations are concerned, whether for film, TV, miniseries, take your pick. But from what I understand, Emma in the book is insufferable to the point where some people, they can't finish the book because she is so insufferable. Like, she is just a obnoxious character. Not because she's like, yeah, she's just, and it's not that she's necessarily bad. She's so, it's like Austen said, nobody's gonna like her but me. And I think she succeeded at that. So no one likes Emma the character. So apparently if you can get to the end, she does have some character growth, but it takes so long to get there because of all of the mishaps and all the Regency stuff, crap that has to go on, with like balls and people going to tea, and that's in all the society stuff that ends up taking up a huge chunk of the page real estate in any of Austen's works. But there's just a lot of people gossiping and talking to each other. That
towards the end, once Emma actually starts to show some growth, it's not as bad, but it takes a while to get there. But again, I have no plans to read it. I'll probably never watch any of the adaptations, so I will take Clueless. This is one of those where it's like, I'm just going to take this version, please and thank you. It's kind of like 10 Things I Hate About You. I'd rather watch that than watch a proper adaptation of Taming of the Shrew. Yeah.
Check out the Moonlighting version. That one's fun too.
Yeah. So, anyway, I've prattled on. How about you two? Have either of you done Austen or watched any of the other versions, or is this like you're like me and like this is all I know?
I'm
yeah, basically.
This is all I know. Yeah, I will maybe someday down the road try to make my way through Emma, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, even taking the adaptation part out of it, why do you this is one of those movies where if I look back, as far as my memory is concerned, it's just always existed and I've known about it. I have no idea where my original introduction to this movie was. I know I did not see it in theaters. I can tell you that much. I mean, I would have been 12 when this came out, so maybe a little young for the intended audience because it is supposed to be set in high school. For the life of, I could not tell you the first time I ever saw this. It's just one of those movies just always existed and I've known of it for as long as I can remember. So, I know, Brittany, you would have been even younger when this was released.
5.
Yeah.
So definitely above my when I was
Holly, I think you're closer in age probably to the intended market audience when this was released.
Yeah. When was this released?
95.
95, so I would have been 9th, 10th grade. Probably, wait a minute, 9th grade. Yeah, between 9th and 10th, so.
Oh, high school, so you would have been closer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Yeah, isn't it weird how there's some, like, movies where it's all like, yeah, it's just always been in my head. I don't know where it came from. Like, I don't know if I caught this, like, on TV at some point, or I mean, I guess that had to have been it. I mean, this doesn't seem like the type of movie that like networks would show on the weekends when there's nothing else to show. Like there's no sports or anything like that. I don't think they tend to show movies like this for that. So this had to have been something that was shown on cable, which narrows it down quite a bit. To when I had access to cable. So, I mean, I've watched it. I know times that I've watched it since then. I just don't know the initial point at which I watched. Actually, I ended up referencing this. Speaking of gold standard, kind of. If you go way back to our review of Gigi, which should not have won Best Picture, by the way. But it did, so we had to review it. There is a scene where a character realizes that they are in love with somebody, and they're standing in front of a fountain. And as they have that revelation, the fountain goes, woo! And we were talking about Gigi, I'm like, yeah, there's an homage to that in Clueless when Cher realizes she's in love with Josh. And it absolutely is. That is that's absolutely an homage to. So yeah, Cher standing in front of that fountain and it going woo, yeah. She realizes she's in love with Josh is a fun little homage to a Best Picture winner. Might be a little on the obscure side, but I appreciate it.
Yep.
Putting that in there. I want to know, Cher, after she fails her driving test, she goes on this long walk of reflection, presumably to somewhere
I don't know where she goes shopping. She goes somewhere. Yeah. At one point, she gets distracted by something in a window and goes, "Ooh, I wonder if they have that in my size." And we see her. Well, it's still daytime, and then eventually, she's walking with shopping bags in her hand. Stops in front of that fountain, has her revelation that she's in love with Josh. It is now nighttime. It is dark out. She's not carrying a purse or anything. How the hell did she pay for that shopping?
Maybe the purse is in one of the shopping bags?
No, because she never had one way before she had the shopping bags.
Oh boy. Maybe she went someplace where she could get store credit and they didn't need to run the card.
Maybe it's someplace her dad has an account and they know him and know that he's good for it, so she can just charge it.
No questions asked.
That could be. That could be it. I mean, that was a thing you could do in department stores. Is just have an account, not necessarily a credit card, but just an account at that store, and you could just make purchases and have it charged, and they would just send you a bill. So maybe that's it. I don't know. I'm not rich, and I don't live in California, in Los Angeles, so near Pismo Beach. So I have no idea how those things work. That's one of those little things that kind of like how did she pay for that shopping? When she starts out walking, her hands are empty, and that skirt that she's wearing, that outfit, I don't think it has pockets. This is before Apple Pay.
I was laughing when they pulled out their phones.
And the thin cell phones. Yeah. Oh yes, the good old Nokias. Or you had to push 3 times in order to get a letter to text.
Yeah. I will say, some of the references and the technology definitely have not aged well, but you can't help that. But that does not detract from the movie at all.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Cher is able to school someone on a quote from Shakespeare only because she knows that whether Mel Gibson said it or not. So, I don't know if we necessarily want to name drop Mel Gibson now, but
right,
the big ass cell phones, the clunkier cell phones, maybe not so much, but it does not detract at all. I don't think so. All right. Well, we have anything else?
I think we're good.
All right. Well, if any of our listeners want to send in their thoughts about Jane Austen and Emma and or Clueless, Shalane, it's a shame Chrissy wasn't able to join us because she's the person that I think has read the most Austen out of all of us, I think.
Yep.
So, but if any of our listeners, Shalane or otherwise, wants to send in their feedback, you can email us fiveishfangirls@gmail.com. You can also go to our website, which is thefivishfangirls.com, where you can find links to all of our podcast related social media accounts and our individual ones as well, along with links to the Goodreads book club if you want to join in the discussion there. Every month we talk about a Doctor Who universe related book or Big Finish audio. So all the discussions are there on Goodreads, and if you'd like to financially support us, you can do that in a number of ways. It's also linked on the website, including Patreon and buying merch on Redbubble. We appreciate all your support, however you give it to us. Even if it's just a double tap to give us a heart on a post or a thumbs up. Yeah. We appreciate it. And hopefully, knock on wood, health issues will allow us to, now that we're back on the horse, stay on the horse for the foreseeable future. So we will have a week coming up next month where we will not have a show, but we know that's coming, and we will talk about that when we get closer to it. So I'm going to be on vacation. So visiting a certain mouse who owns everything. Including my soul. But we will talk about that when we get closer to it. So for now, I do believe we are going to sign off for this week.
This is Brittany Bagel saying goodnight.
This is Holly from Wisconsin saying good evening.
And this is Rachel in Indianapolis, Indiana. So, okay, I don't want to be a traitor to my generation and all, but I don't get how guys dress today. I mean, come on. Looks like they just fell out of bed, put on some baggy pants, and take their greasy hair, ew, and cover it up with a backwards cap, and like, we're expected to swoon? I don't think so. Thank you, our Fiveish fam, for joining us on this week's geeky journey. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. Stay connected with us on our website, thefivishfangirls.com, and follow us on most social media with @FivishFangirls. Plus, check out our nonprofit, Fangirls Give Back, to see how we're making a positive impact in our community. Until next time, stay nerdy and let the squee continue.